For years, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie weren't just movie stars. They were Hollywood's royal family. Gorgeous, wildly successful, parents to a global pack of 6 kids, and fixtures on every red carpet. But behind the perfectly framed paparazzi shots was a story far messier than any romantic drama they ever filmed. Let's rewind the tape, shall we? The homewrecker headlines. When Brad met Angelina on the set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith in 2004, tabloids practically set themselves on fire. The press painted Angelina as the other woman, the dark siren who single-handedly toppled Brad's marriage to America's sweetheart, Jennifer Aniston. And it wasn't just the gossip magazines, late-night hosts, morning talk shows, and every aunt at every brunch table in America had an opinion. Angie became the universal scapegoat, branded a homewrecker before the ink on Jen's divorce papers was even dry. Never mind that Brad, grown man, Oscar nominee, and not exactly lacking free will, made his own decisions. No. Apparently, Angie, with her tattoos, vials of blood, and habit of kissing her brother on the lips in public, had hypnotized him. Hollywood logic. Angelina's wild reputation. Before she was Mrs. Pitt, Angelina Jolie was the bad girl of Hollywood. She wasn't sipping green juices and doing yoga at dawn. She was kissing her brother at the Oscars, confessing to a love of knives, and swapping blood vials with then-husband Billy Bob Thornton. And honestly, she didn't care. She'd rather wear her second husband's plasma around her neck than a $3 million diamond. That's commitment, or at least questionable jewelry choices. The press, of course, devoured it. Angie was the femme fatale you couldn't look away from. Every tattoo, every eyebrow-raising interview, every whispered rumor fed into her image as Hollywood's reigning wild child. But then something strange happened. The transformation from rebel to Earth Mother. Once Brad came into the picture, Angie's image did a full 180. Suddenly, she wasn't the chaotic wild woman, but the saintly humanitarian mother. It was like a Hollywood makeover montage, only instead of swapping leather pants for sundresses, she swapped red carpet shock value for adoption papers and UN speeches. The Jolie-Pitt clan grew quickly. Maddox, Zahara, Pax, Shiloh, and twins Knox and Vivian made them the ultimate blended family. Brangelina wasn't just a couple, they were a brand. Red carpet photos with the 6 perfectly dressed kids looked like spreads from Vogue. Part fashion shoot, part United Nations Children's Fund brochure. The world ate it up. Brad and Angelina became Hollywood's untouchable golden couple. Until trouble in paradise. In 2016, after 12 years together, the bombshell dropped. Angelina filed for divorce. Suddenly, the golden couple's glow evaporated and the mudslinging began. The whispers started immediately. She was crazy. He was abusive. She was manipulative. He was an alcoholic. Suddenly, the most picture-perfect family in Hollywood was airing dirty laundry, and the tabloids were selling it by the pound. One judge reportedly told Angelina to stop blocking her kid's relationship with Brad, or risk losing custody. Headlines screamed about parental alienation. Brad was accused of drinking too much. Angelina was accused of poisoning her kids against him. The once envied Brangelina empire was crumbling faster than a stale croissant. The plane incident, when everything fell apart. The breaking point came mid-flight. According to leaked FBI documents, Brad, Angelina, and the 6 kids were on a private jet back from France when things spiraled. Brad had allegedly been drinking. A disagreement escalated into a physical altercation. Angelina claimed he grabbed her, shook her, and shoved her against a wall. Their eldest son, Maddox, reportedly stepped in to defend his mother, and that's when things got even more heated. At one point, Brad allegedly turned to one of the kids and snapped, "Mommy's not okay." "She's ruining this family. She's crazy." Hollywood's leading man had become a headline villain. Within days, Angelina filed for divorce, taking her children with her. The custody circus. What followed was less a divorce and more a gladiator match. Angelina wanted sole custody. Brad fought back. Judges, lawyers, therapists, and the media all had opinions. The words parental alienation and child abuse were splashed across every front page. At one point, a judge ordered Angelina to personally tell her children it was safe to be with their father. Imagine needing a court order to convince your kids you're not the villain in a Disney movie. Yikes. Meanwhile, Brad publicly denied allegations of abuse and admitted he'd struggled with drinking. Angelina stayed relatively quiet, her silence feeding more speculation than any tell-all interview could. Angelina's struggles behind the scenes. But long before her split with Brad, Angelina had openly shared her doubts about motherhood. She'd admitted she felt too unstable, too dark to ever be a mother. In her words, she was all over the place and never felt calm or safe. She struggled with insomnia, self-harm, and a lingering sense of being an outsider in her own life. It wasn't until her humanitarian work, meeting refugees, witnessing war zones, that she began to find perspective. And then came Maddox. Holding that baby boy in Cambodia gave her something she hadn't felt before: belonging. For the first time, Angelina believed she could be someone's safe place. Adoption, and later building a family, became her anchor. From bad girl to humanitarian. By the time she joined forces with Brad, Angelina had already transformed into an international humanitarian icon. She wasn't just playing badass heroines on screen, she was flying into refugee camps, testifying before Congress, and working with the UN. Critics once called her crazy for the places she traveled, the risks she took. Her response? Well, my crazy found a purpose. That purpose redefined her. From kissing her brother on the red carpet to meeting world leaders, Angie went from Hollywood curiosity to respected activist. Finding strength after divorce. Post-divorce, Angelina embraced resilience as her brand. Asked how she was coping, she gave a perfectly Angelina answer: "My focus is my children. We are and forever will be a family." She didn't wallow in self-pity or drag Brad through endless interviews. Instead, she poured herself into her kids, her work, and, yes, still being a little bit of a bad girl, but this time in the form of fearlessly trekking into war zones instead of carrying blood jewelry. As she said, the fire that once made her reckless now fuels her humanitarian work. That wild, untamable part of her didn't disappear. It just got redirected. The legacy of Brangelina. So, was Brad the problem? Was Angelina manipulative? Or were they just two flawed people trying to hold a picture-perfect family together under the crushing weight of fame, baggage, and 6 children who never signed up for this? The truth is probably somewhere in between. They loved hard, fought harder, and built a family that, scandals aside, still deserves credit for being one of the most unconventional yet devoted in Hollywood history. And as much as tabloids want to paint it in black and white, Angelina the villain or Brad the bad dad, real life is messier. Sometimes love stories don't have happy endings. Sometimes perfect images crack, and sometimes even Hollywood royalty crash and burn at 30,000 feet. But if you ask Angelina, she's not broken, she's not ruined, she's not even done. As she once put it, that fight and that fire, if directed in the right way, can be a force for good. And that's exactly what she's doing. And that's the wild roller coaster of Brad and Angelina, Hollywood's golden couple turned tabloid war zone. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Brangelina's rise and fall, don't forget to smash that like and hit subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss more stories of Hollywood's most shocking scandals, messy divorces, and the untold truth behind the glitz and glam. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes the real drama isn't on the big screen, it's behind the scenes. See you in the next one.